senior aide to the former First Lady, Anthony Bernal, was set to testify about Sleepy Joe's mental fitness after he was subpoenaed by House Oversight Republicans. But in what's becoming a trend with those who were close to the former president, Bernal pleaded the fifth. You'll recall last week, Biden's former doctor, Kevin O'Connor, pled the fifth, invoking his right against self-incrimination. Oversight Committee Chair James Comer appeared on Newsmax earlier to weigh in.
After 2 complete transcribed interviews and then 2 attempted depositions where the witnesses pled the fifth on every single question, at this point, there's no evidence that would suggest Joe Biden had any idea who was using the Autopen and what they were signing his name on. This is a very serious investigation. We're giving people in the Biden administration, like Anthony Bernal, the opportunity to tell their side of the story, to tell that Joe Biden was whip smart, knew exactly what was going on, and told people, yes, use my signature on this document and that document. And thus far, that hasn't happened.
Jason, do you think this investigation is going to go anywhere?
Nope. We saw Comer try to investigate the Bidens before, and it went nowhere. So I think this is another one of his attempts to drum up some press and get some Newsmax hits. But I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Joe Biden has already addressed this, and also self-incriminate or your Fifth Amendment, it means you really don't want to talk. Everybody knows that. That's just a way of saying, I don't want to talk. I don't want to give you an opportunity to twist my words into something I didn't say. I don't want you to get me into some sort of trap. So I think this is not really headed in any direction.
Virginia, do you think that it's going to, obviously I don't think Republicans are going to stop. They want to get to the bottom of this issue of the Autopen. There's still a lot of pending questions, and there's no transparency coming from the former Biden administration. Where does this go?
No transparency from the former Biden administration?
Yeah.
Shocking. My goodness. I mean, we've been here before. I think we're going to keep circling the wagon on this because the Democrats are going to keep stonewalling. They want this hidden. They want the reality of what was really going on in the White House hidden. And, the fact that the Autopen was used, that's obviously a fact. We know that now. The big questions that the American people want answered are, did Biden actually know what it was being used for? We know it was used. Was Biden aware of the documents that were being signed with it? And the sheer number of times that it was being used. And honestly, I quite frankly don't think we'll probably ever know the answer to that question, at least until after former President Joe Biden passes away.
I don't even think Joe Biden knows. Anyways, at the White House today, President Trump again weighed in on the Biden Autopen scandal.
What Biden did is he ended our policies, went to his policies with, he doesn't have a policy. Some lunatic around the desk had a policy. Whoever operated the Autopen had a policy. Which is, by the way, I think the biggest scandal. That's the scandal they should be talking about.
And according to reports, the White House counsel's office is conducting an investigation of more than 1 million documents that were approved through Autopen under Joe Biden. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt saying Joe Biden was the worst, most incompetent and senile president in our country's history. The Trump White House is committed to finding the answers to the many outstanding questions the American people still have about how business in the Biden White House was conducted. Matt, you worked in the White House before. I mean, how was it handled back in the days?
Well, whenever there was a potential wrongdoing by a White House, it does start with the White House counsel. I was a part of several of those probes. You got to search all your email. Sometimes they sit and talk to you. We had all kinds of issues in the 4 years I was in the White House. So that's a responsible step. It's a little bit unusual to do it to the administration before you. Jason, back to your question on Comer investigating Biden before, that's before there was a Attorney General Pam Bondi and a President Donald Trump. So everything Congress is doing will eventually be referred to DOJ for possible prosecution. And I think it's very problematic that the Autopen was used to this extent on very serious matters. And I think you're allowed to, I believe in the Fifth Amendment, I'm a civil libertarian on questions like this. But when you won't speak on something where you didn't do anything wrong, you do create the political problem where it looks like you did do something wrong. So those people, if they didn't do anything wrong, they need an appropriate venue in which to explain what they did. And that's good. That would go in the next phase.
Information, truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.